Hello and welcome to 2019, or at least it will be by the time you see this video. It's actually 2018 as I record it, but none of that matters. What I wanted to discuss today, just a quick discussion, a short video about the region split that happened in the most recent Gran Turismo Sport update, which I believe is update 1.31, and how it affects people like me in Australia and New Zealand. It is damn hot in this room because it's the middle of summer here and it's stinking hot, so you'll have to excuse the sweat. Also, Doggo's down on the floor snoring, so you'll have to look past that. In fact, I'll show you Doggo. Here's Doggo here. Hi, Tiger. This is who's snoring. This is who you often hear snoring on my streams. Anyway. So if you don't know what's going on, during the December update, Polyphony Digital made the decision to re-split the regions off, and Australia and New Zealand used to be grouped in with Japan, was I guess that's where most of the numbers come from, but also a bunch of other Asian countries between Australia and Japan, which perhaps weren't as heavily represented. If you've watched any of my previous streams, you'll know that the vast majority of every lobby was Japanese. But what they've done, and for reasons they didn't really announce, is that they've separated out Australia and New Zealand into their own region. Now, in a way, and I kind of want to go through the pros and cons of this, I do understand the advantage of actually doing this if they had have done it when the game first released. Because obviously when Gran Turismo Sport first released, that's when the peak users would have been at their highest. It's when the most people would have been playing Gran Turismo Sport. So even in countries like Australia and New Zealand, there would have been enough people in most of the lobbies. Now, obviously you can't expect every single lobby to be full. Our populations aren't that massive. So sure, if you're jumping on at 4 AM on a Tuesday night or a Thursday morning or whatever the case may be, then you're probably going to struggle to get a full lobby. But at least during peak times and through the weekends and stuff like that, pretty much every lobby was going to be full because there's a lot of people playing it. The game has been out for well over 12 months now. Over hair. But obviously the game's been out now for well over 12 months, and I just don't think it's as effective. I think it's too late in the piece to try and do this because the vast majority of, certainly your casuals that get it and play for the first few months, they've gone. Even your more hardcore people that really played it, did it, you know, until they got bored of it. It's over 12 months. You can't expect everyone to hang around. They've all left as well. So you're kind of left with the dedicated few. And unless you're getting together and organising a set time to race, you're just luck of the draw. You get on, most people just get on whenever they can. And that's not always going to be the same time as everybody else gets on. So it is a problem, but I do understand the logic behind it. I do understand the reasoning that they decided to do this. For example, ping is obviously an issue. Japan is actually a long way north of Australia. It's not like it's just next door. If it was only Malaysia or Singapore or something like that, I could understand. Our ping's not going to be too ginormous, but to Japan, that's a long way up. So our ping is not great, which means in FIA races, I think a lot of the disconnects that people were having problems with, and I know it's not exclusive to us, I know this is happening to everyone around the world, but perhaps a lot of the disconnects were, or at least I suspect, it's from a lack of the clients all syncing up in the short period of time between when they roll to race and when the race actually starts. And I think that was causing people to drop out, get disconnected. Whatever the case may be, I feel like the ping, the connection, the stability of the connection to the host may have been part of the problem. So by separating it into smaller regions, that is potentially a way of preventing that, because everyone in Australia and New Zealand is going to be a lot closer. Our ping is a lot less. I don't actually know what the ping is from, say, Melbourne to New Zealand. Probably only 50 or 60. I guess from Perth to New Zealand might be a lot more than that, like 100 or 110. But it's still within reason, I would have said. So I do get that they want to do that. The problem is they run the daily races every, whatever it is, you finish one, 6 minutes later the next one goes. So they just roll perpetually all day. You've got 3 races to choose from, and they run all day. Now the issue is because so many people have gone, depending on what time you jump in, there's just no one there to actually race with. Now, if it was separated out slightly differently, and they only ran the daily races at, you know, midday, 3 PM, 5 PM, 7 PM, 9 PM, and that was it for the whole day, then you might get a better hit ratio. I think you'll probably fill the lobbies a bit more. It's, you know, it sucks a little bit more, but that is one way they could have combated this. But as it stands, you've got no idea of telling who's in what race. There's no lobby you can sit in and kind of wait until that lobby fills up and you get your full 16 people, or in the case of FIA, 20 people before it rolls through or anything like that. There's no option. You just jump in, hope for the best, and unfortunately in our region, due to the lack of numbers, depending on the time of day. Now obviously if you hit it right on peak hours, so if you sort of think 7 PM, 8 PM, these sorts of times, not too bad. You're gonna maybe not get a full lobby, but you'll at least get 10 to 12 people, which is as good as you can really expect at this point. But yeah, that's not the way it works. It revolves all day, so we just don't have the numbers to fill those lobbies. As I say, it would have worked back then. It doesn't work now, and essentially, from my perspective anyway, it means that we're missing out on this game, and it's a really big demotivating factor. At this point of a game's lifespan, PD want to be doing everything they bloody can to keep everybody as interested as they possibly can. But what they've done is actually make it even harder for those people that do remain playing Gran Turismo Sport to actually get a full lobby, or at least it doesn't have to be full. It might only be 10 or 12 out of 16. That's going to be good enough. As soon as you dip under 10, it's going to lose its fun, and I've seen a lot of people saying they're now consistently racing between 0 and 5 people. That's it. And it's not fun. People aren't enjoying themselves, and people are already saying on my Discord and other that they're not playing Gran Turismo Sport anymore. They're going to give it a break. If you think about the total amount of people playing in our whole region, this is Australia and New Zealand. I think Kudos Prime's got the last 7 days as about 80,000 people globally playing Gran Turismo Sport. No doubt boosted as well by Christmas. A lot of people would have got it for Christmas. So that's already a little bit boosted there. The overall numbers might be a little bit less on a weekly basis. So of the Australia and New Zealand region, you'd have to think it's only really probably between 3,000 and 5,000 of those are actually us. And we're all going to want to play at different times. We're all trying to do it, you know, at certain times. It's just not working out well. So I don't want to harp on too much about it. I've kind of explained to you why it was a good idea and why it's also a bad idea. Might have worked back when the game first launched. It's not working now. And as far as I'm concerned, please, for the love of God, Polyphony Digital, if you ever see this video, and I'm sure you probably won't, but if you do, please reintegrate us. It's not that I necessarily just love racing against the Japanese or any other countries at all. It's nothing to do with who I want to race against. We just need full lobbies. Otherwise, this new region that you've set up for Australia and New Zealand will be dead. Give it 6 months, nobody will be playing this game. Or, like me, I'm about to start, I'll wait and see if the January patch fixes this first. But if this isn't updated, I'm probably going to have to create a European or American account so I can log into their lobbies and race against people. So, yeah, that's obviously not what we want, so please fix it. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. I probably crapped on a little bit longer than I actually meant to. But thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, hit subscribe down below. If you've got any questions, comments, anything like that, leave them below and I'll look at them. I'll try and respond to them. If I need to make another video about it, I will. I suspect that PD might already be all over this situation. This is something they may change in like the January update, for example. So this might be a short-lived video, valid for all of about 3 days. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye for now.